Ambassador Veltar of the Centauri Coalition stared at the holographic display with mounting disbelief. The data streams flowing across the quantum networks painted a picture so dire that even his advanced neural processors struggled to accept it. The void swarm, a plague of dark matter entities that had already consumed 3 entire star systems, was accelerating toward the galactic core. "The calculations are final," announced High Counselor Zephyra, her elegant Arcturian features betraying none of the fear that permeated the council chamber. "At current velocity, the swarm will reach Nexus Prime in 14 standard cycles. Our most optimistic projections give us a 12% chance of successful defense." Around the circular chamber, representatives from 47 different species maintained their composure with practiced diplomatic grace. The crystalline hegemony's delegate pulsed with subdued light patterns. The gas giant dwellers of Kepler 442b swirled in their containment spheres with barely contained anxiety. Even the usually stoic Titan engineers from the outer rim remained unnaturally still. "What of the Omega Protocol?" asked General Thrix, the draconian military commander, whose scales had turned the deep purple of concern. "Our combined fleets could execute a coordinated retreat to the Andromeda staging point, abandoning 67 billion souls across 12 inhabited systems." Zephyra replied coldly, "The Nexus cannot be moved. If it falls, our civilizations collapse. There will be no second chance." The chamber fell silent, except for the ambient hum of life support systems, maintaining optimal conditions for the diverse array of species present. Each delegate knew the mathematics. The void swarm consumed energy itself, stars, planets, living beings, even the fabric of space-time. They had watched helplessly as the outer colonies simply ceased to exist, leaving behind nothing but empty space where entire civilizations had thrived. "There is one option we have not considered," came a voice from the farthest corner of the chamber. All attention turned to Captain Sarah Chen, the lone human representative. She stood barely 1.7 meters tall, her skin still showing the pale coloration typical of those who spent most of their time in artificial environments. By galactic standards, humans were considered a minor species, recent arrivals to the cosmic stage with limited territory and modest technological capabilities. "Speak, human," Zephyra said, though her tone carried the patience one might show an enthusiastic child. "The void entities feed on organized energy patterns," Chen began, activating her own holographic display. "Every defense we've attempted has failed because we've tried to meet them with force, with order, with our most advanced technologies. But what if we approach this differently?" Her display showed detailed schematics of human settlements, military installations, and most surprisingly, their industrial complexes. "Humans possess something unique in this galaxy," Chen continued. "We're chaotic by nature. Our technologies are inefficient. Our societies are disorganized, and our energy signatures are messy. We've been trying to fix this for decades, to meet galactic standards, but maybe our flaws are exactly what we need." General Thrix's tail lashed with irritation. "You propose to defeat a cosmic horror with inefficiency? I propose to defeat it with chaos," Chen replied steadily. "Human neural patterns are unique. We dream, we create art without purpose. We experience emotions that serve no logical function. Our ships leak energy in 17 different spectrums because we jury-rig everything. Our very existence is antithetical to the ordered energy patterns the void swarm consumes." The chamber erupted in translated discussions across dozens of languages and communication methods. The concept was so alien to most species that their universal translators struggled with the nuances. "Even if your theory has merit," Veltar interjected, "humanity numbers fewer than 50 billion across all your worlds. How could you possibly make a significant impact?" Chen's expression hardened with a determination that surprised several delegates who had assumed humans lacked martial spirit. Because we won't be fighting from our worlds. We'll be fighting from inside the swarm itself. The hologram shifted to show modified human vessels' ships, stripped of their already minimal defenses, and loaded instead with something unprecedented. Human colonists, artists, musicians, dreamers, and volunteers by the millions. "Kamikaze runs," whispered someone, though the translator couldn't identify the species. "Voluntary displacement into chaos zones," Chen corrected. "We'll seed the swarm with human consciousness, human creativity, human unpredictability. We'll introduce so much randomness into their feeding patterns that they'll either choke on the chaos or starve from the confusion." "You're talking about deliberate extinction," Zafira said quietly. "For your entire species?" "No," Chen replied, her voice carrying a strength that resonated through the chamber's acoustics. "We're talking about becoming part of something larger. Humans have always been explorers, always pushed beyond safe boundaries. This is just the ultimate frontier." Over the following cycles, as the void swarm drew closer to inhabited space, the galaxy watched in amazement as humanity mobilized. Not for war in any conventional sense, but for transformation. Volunteer ships launched by the thousands, each one carrying pieces of human culture, human dreams, human chaos into the path of annihilation. The first contact reports were unlike anything the galactic monitoring stations had recorded. Instead of the clean consumption patterns observed in previous encounters, the swarm began exhibiting erratic behavior. It slowed, changed direction randomly, and in some sectors, actually began to fragment. "It's working," Chen reported, from the bridge of her own vessel as it approached the swarm's outer edge. "The entities can't process human neural patterns. We're giving them indigestion on a cosmic scale." But the true miracle came in the aftermath. As the void swarm finally collapsed into dormant dark matter clouds, something unexpected emerged. The human consciousness that had been absorbed didn't simply disappear, it began to spread throughout the quantum substrate of space itself, creating new patterns of organization that defied every known law of physics. Humanity, in sacrificing their physical existence, had become something greater. They became the immune system of the galaxy itself, a chaotic force that would forever guard against the ordered hunger of entities like the void swarm. Centuries later, when new threats emerged from the void between galaxies, they would encounter not just the organized defenses of advanced civilizations, but something far more unpredictable and infinitely more dangerous, the scattered, dreaming consciousness of humanity, woven into the very fabric of space-time itself. The galaxy learned that day that sometimes the greatest protection comes not from strength or technology, but from the willingness to embrace chaos in service of others. Humans will always defend the galaxy, not because they must, but because that's simply who they are.